Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. I wish that I was fluent in Spanish. Oh, I don't mean able to go into a restaurant and order my favorite food for lunch or dinner. I mean fluent. Like my wife, like some folks that I know who reached a point in their life where they could think in Spanish as well as English. Or if you're watching this and Spanish is your native language, maybe you've gotten to that point with English. I don't know. But there's a difference between mechanically knowing a language and being able to actually think in that language, or being able to dream in that language, where that language is so native to you that it's just part of the gear you can live in or shift towards. And I'm thinking about that today because I really would like to become fluent in that sense in the language of the Bible. I would like the Bible to be something that I know so well, not just mechanically I'm able to go through and to pick out this, that, or the other, but I've got it memorized. I've got it as part of my heart. Scripture talks about hiding his word in our heart, where it's so much a part of who I am that when the world starts to explode around me, instead of me shifting into explosion mode with it, I shift into scripture. I think in terms of Scripture, where I don't act out of that Mark nature, but I act out of the God nature that's being grown within me. And that's how I want. I want when there is a problem that's there and I need help with that problem, I want the Scripture to come so quickly to mind that I'm able to think, oh wait, 1 Chronicles 16:11, that pertains to this. That's where it says to seek the Lord and His strength, to seek His presence continually. And if I do that, if I'm constantly seeking the Lord and His presence, then whatever the problem is I've got will have a much different solution to me than if I'm just trying to do it out of my own strength and without the presence of God. I mean, think about it. Those things that are your triggers that cause you to want to just react in uncontrollable ways. And think about the ability to bring those into the presence of the Lord and His strength and His presence, because then you start thinking in these terms, and you think in terms of Deuteronomy 31:8, because you've memorized it or you've put it into your heart, you've stored it up. So it just comes out of you that He is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you. He will not forsake you. So don't fear, don't be dismayed. I mean, that's what Deuteronomy says there in Deuteronomy 31:8. That's the assurance we've got. And so when everything seems to be a mess and I'm just in reaction mode, or I'm in worry mode, or I'm in anger mode, or I'm in whatever, boy, if I will just live in that thinking process, fluent with Scripture, where I realize that it's the Lord who goes before you, and He's going to be with me, and He will not leave me, and He will not forsake me. And so I need not fear. I need not be dismayed. All I need to do is walk with Him. It's powerful. It's life-changing. It's transformative. You commit to memory Psalms like Psalm 34, verses 4 and 5. This is a powerful psalm that says, I sought the Lord, and He answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. I mean, when you're afraid, what a powerful psalm. And the psalmist continues, that's verse 4. Verse 5 says, those who are radiant are the ones who look to Him. I think in the Hebrew it's actually, those who look to Him are radiant. You shine. You got a problem, you look to God, you trust in God, you walk in it with God, and you'll be radiant. And then it says, and their faces shall never be ashamed. Think about that for a moment. Any time in your life where you've done something or thought something or shamefully acted in some way, it's come from not walking in the Lord. So I think it helps us if we think in terms of Scripture. And just grab one. Just grab one today that you're going to really chew on and hide in your heart. And if you add one a day, pretty soon we'll be fluent in Scripture, and it'll affect the way we can think in those terms, and we can live and act in those terms, and it will transform who we are before this watching world. That's your video thought for the day.